You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Santa made an appearance yesterday to support a local nonprofit.
Also, we have a few tips to keep you and your family safe next time you decide to cozy up next to the fireplace.
Plus, we're still tracking active showers and storms across the metro, what that means for your morning commute coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chloe Arroyo. 7 o'clock on the clock this morning.
And we are happy to have Chloe with us today and for the remainder of the week. It's such a treat to have you come visit us.
To be here.
Yes.
I'm excited to get on this new schedule too.
It's definitely something to get used to, but we are so happy to have you here.
So excited to be here.
Absolutely. And well, some four-legged friends were happy to get a visit from Santa. Santa's sleigh made a stop in Fort Scott yesterday afternoon to support a local nonprofit organization.
KOAM's Mitch Adams has the latest.
So many of our animals are like family. They're our children, they're our brothers and sisters, they're our kids. And we want to be able to include them too, so they can be part of it, just like this little sweetheart here. And that's to us very, very important.
The Southeast Kansas Animal Advocates brought Santa to Fort Scott to take photos with pets and their families. The photo shoot doubled as a fundraiser to support the treatment and placement of stray dogs and cats in new homes.
This past year, we've so far helped 575 dogs and 135 cats. So there's a lot of need in Southeast Kansas to not only spay, neuter, vaccinate, but also find homes for the excess number of pets.
Santa made his way from the North Pole to make sure these animals feel loved and to give their families a Christmas keepsake. With such a busy schedule, St. Nick has his eyes set on his plans after Christmas ends.
Well, so of course Santa Claus is looking very forward to the day after Christmas, which is typically a Bahamas type activity.
But those plans won't stop him from sharing Christmas joy with our four-legged friends.
You know, what I would like to see this Christmas is every single one of these little sweethearts not to be in a pound over Christmas.
In Fort Scott, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Well, SDK Animal Advocates recently opened a low-cost spay and neuter clinic with services available in Arma, Kansas.
Oh, good cause for sure. And
absolutely.
Anything with animals in it, I think, is so precious.
Yes, and as Santa said, you know, like if you can, adopt these dogs. If you have the means to do it, makes for a great Christmas present for sure.
Absolutely, and a great addition to the family. And you know what? I'll tell you what, dogs, they love any type of outdoor weather, even the cooler weather. They love the snow way more than I do. But you know, they love jumping around. Well, some dogs like to jump around in the rain, so I'm sure a couple dogs have enjoyed that this morning because there have been some showers across the entire 4 states this morning. So here's a look at your live radar right now. That's starting to dwindle down for the 4 states overall. But southwestern Missouri and northwestern Arkansas primarily are still seeing those bands of showers and storms here and there. One thing I want to point out is this line on the back end of that's going to be your cold front pushing through. I'd say more so of a cool front, only pushing us down into the 50s from the 60s overnight. So off to school this morning, still some rain chances once that system pushes off more southeastward. We're not going to see any more rain after that. So once that clears out this afternoon, we're going to be left with sunny skies this afternoon and temperatures in the mid-50s. Keep in mind, we're going to have a northerly wind anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. So nothing extreme, but keep that slight breeze in mind. That's what's going to be cooling us down on the back end of that front. Now planning out your afternoon, our high is going to be 56 there in Joplin, clearing out completely by the afternoon. Now later on this afternoon into the evening, we could see a couple increasing clouds here and there, but for your outdoor plans this afternoon, it's going to be a little chilly, but beautiful nonetheless. Now, once that passes through the region, we're going to be completely done with that pretty much by 9:30 to 10 a.m. and then leaving us with clear skies, temperatures in the mid-50s overall. Here's what we're tracking, those marginal thunderstorms this morning, as well as the next rainmaker late Tuesday night. In a bit, I'll have the full details on that, as well as a late week change in the weather pattern could bring colder temperatures and another chance for rainfall next week. I'll have all those details coming up.
All right, Chloe, thanks. We'll see you soon. McDonald County prosecutors dropped charges in a fatal hit-and-run case. McDonald County prosecutor Malia Cheney says, quote, the officer made a false statement in the probable cause affidavit, which would likely affect the case outcome, end quote. Now, sources say the officer stated a serial number was found on a lens, linking it to a 1992 Ford F-250. However, the lens contained a model number, not a serial number. Now, that model number lens would fit numerous other years of Ford vehicles, not limited to the 1992 F-150. The incident happened back on November 2nd in Knoll, Missouri. Gloria Trejo allegedly hit a pedestrian at South Kings Highway and Hall Ridge Road in McDonald County. Now, the victim, 59-year-old Michael Pruden, died at the scene. According to court documents, Trejo told authorities she first thought she had hit a deer, then saw it was a person, got scared, and left. Charges in the case can be refiled. Families, students, and staff are grieving after learning of the loss of one of their own. A student from Knoll Elementary School has succumbed to their injuries from an ATV accident last week. Now, counselors will be on school grounds starting today to provide support for those who may need it. In a social media post, the school district said, quote, our hearts are with the students, families, and loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. According to the National Fire Protection Agency, nearly half of all home heating fires occur in December, January, and February. KOAM's Mitch Adams spoke with a Carthage-based sweep to find out more about preventing chimney fires.
We also strongly believe in the education in this industry. And we clean a lot of chimneys this time of year.
As the temperatures begin to get colder and colder, many people rely on a fireplace for warmth in their home. A fireplace can be an efficient and less expensive way to heat your home, but it can come with different hazards. Janie Frazier is the president of Alpine Chimney Sweep. It's her family business with around 40 years of history.
I am a master sweep. That means that I've been educated in the chimney and hearth industry.
Frazier sat down with us to give us some tips on how to make sure your chimney and fireplace are safe to use, without the risk of damage or, even worse, a chimney fire.
One thing that you cannot do, I mean, you can't see 20 feet up a chimney and say, yeah, it looks great and everything's fine. That's not possible. So we use a video camera that's specifically for our industry, and we video the inside of the flue.
When it comes to the full-on prevention of a chimney fire, Frazier gave us her best advice in making sure that your chimney and fireplace are safe to use this winter.
The easiest way I have found is to get it, have it cleaned, or at least inspected. And we can send a camera up there. We can just visually inspect it. But at that point, you'll know what's real. Is it safe to use or is it not?
Frazier also took the time to share with us the different tools that are used in the trade and the different functions that they have for different jobs.
This is the newest and greatest. You know, this goes up the chimney, and we use a drill to whip out all the creosote. We're looking for any defects that may cause loss of life or property.
Educating people about some of the dangers is a reason for Frazier to keep doing the work she does.
I love going to meet people in their homes. I like educating them about how to use their fireplace and if they can use it, and if they can't, why not, and what we can do to make it better.
In Carthage, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Frazier says that getting your chimney cleaned also helps with venting and improves airflow to the fire, making it more heat efficient. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, The OCH Event Center is inviting you to a winter wonderland starting later this week. We'll hear from a couple of event organizers on what's in store. And later, a Missouri man is hailed a hero after saving a mom and her twin children from an accident. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Girard Square. The Nexus OCH Event Center is all set up for a winter wonderland. Kylie Vasquez, one of the organizers of the event, is with us this morning to share what awaits you. Good morning. Happy to have you, Kylie. Thanks so much for being with us. So talk to me about this Nexus North Pole event.
So our venue is such a beautiful venue itself. Yes. We have so many rooms. We decided why not go ahead and utilize each of the spaces that we have. We are going to be doing multiple activities within the room itself. It's this upcoming Thursday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we are going to be having a Christmas market with a whole bunch of local vendors. We will be having a Christmas movie put on by Royal Cinema Lounge. They will be providing free popcorn as well as playing just Christmas classics. Eagles Landing Wine will be providing a wine tasting as well, and we will also have a Christmas craft station and a festive cocktail bar, and we will also have a food truck joining us. So a lot going on.
Lots to look forward to. It sounds incredible. Talk to me a little bit kind of about the inspiration to have this North Pole and these multi-rooms and just bringing local businesses together and the importance behind that.
Well, like I said, we have so many rooms in the venue itself. It's such a great idea to go ahead and utilize it. And we just want to go ahead and give a platform to all of the local vendors and entrepreneurs in the area. We've got anywhere from about a couple of jewelry makers to some local businesses that are actually on Main Street in Webb City. So lots of people coming.
Absolutely. And so this will be, you said, this Thursday from 5 p.m. Is this free to the public to attend? Talk to me about those details.
Yes, it is free to the public to attend. However, vendors will, of course, set their own prices for any gifts as well. Ozarks New Hope, which is a local nonprofit, they will be there providing a gift wrapping station in the Christmas market for those who buy gifts.
How exciting. And so in addition to these pop-up events that you have all throughout the year, you also are available for, private events as well. Where can people find more information about that, Kylie?
You can either go on our Facebook or you can go on our website, ocheventcenter.com, and you can go ahead and submit an inquiry through there or give us a phone call. We are always available.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Kylie. Have lots of fun at this Nexus North Pole event. Stick around. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're still tracking those showers and storms across the 4 states, but they have cleared out quite a bit across the majority of our counties in the viewing area. But one thing I want you to notice is this line of clouds right there. That represents our cold front. On the back end of that is going to bring in colder temperatures, but not by much. Our highs yesterday and even our lows last night were in the 60s, and our highs are only going to reach into the 50s this afternoon. So I would say more so of a cool front, but that's really your culprit for the storm development that we saw this afternoon. Off to school this morning for the kiddos, 53 degrees, a couple stray showers here and there, especially if you're in those further southern counties in Arkansas and Oklahoma, and a little bit of far southern Missouri, And then this afternoon, we're going to clear out quite a bit as the kiddos are heading home. Temperatures in the mid 50s. We'll have that northwesterly wind along with us on the back end of that front, but not extreme winds whatsoever, only 5 to 10 miles per hour along with us this afternoon. So a relatively calm afternoon, but colder nonetheless than we saw yesterday, a good 10 degrees colder than our highs yesterday. Now, keeping that in mind this afternoon, 56 degrees for your high in Joplin. We're going to clear out completely this afternoon. Hopefully not a cloud in the sky, and then we'll slowly start to increase our clouds, not by much, but typically, or I would say more so around dinner time after 6 p.m. this evening. Again, that wind is going to stick with us. Not a strong wind, but definitely a shift in the wind direction. Yesterday, we had that stronger southerly wind along with us, but that's going to take a different direction to northwesterly wind, leaving us with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s across the 4 states. So keeping that in mind for any afternoon plans you may have, especially outdoors. So now for that severe weather risk that we had this morning, once those storms pass through those farther southern counties, we won't have to worry about this anymore. We had that risk for hail and wind gusts, and we could still see that, but it's looking a little more disorganized right now, so thankfully we're not going to see much of that. Now, for the overall big picture, we could see another chance for showers and storms. This is late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. That's on the front end of a trough that's going to push off eastward. And then we'll see a ridge pattern set in off to the west, and that's going to bring calmer conditions for us folks in the Central Plains. But colder temperatures at the end of this week. Then we'll change a direction in our weather pattern. We could see another chance for showers. This is next week. Will be warm, so we won't see any snow, but for your Christmas Eve, we could see some rainfall with that. So for right now, I'm only going to put that at about 20% for next Tuesday, but a 30% chance for some showers and storms late Tuesday night to early Wednesday morning of this week before we cool down and calm down with our conditions completely. Friday, our high only getting up to 35 degrees. A calm but chilly Saturday and Sunday, leading into that chance, very brief chance of showers on your Christmas Eve. Stick around. We'll have more after the break.
Well, Good Samaritans rushed to help a mother and her twin babies after a terrifying rollover crash that was caught on surveillance video. Now, the woman's car was struck Wednesday by a car involved in a federal police pursuit in Fenton, Missouri. And as it turns out, the victims were actually fortunate for where the wreck ended up.
Megan Kernan tells us why.
In the very top left corner, you see a black SUV hits a white SUV with the family inside.
And all of a sudden heard a car crash screeching noise, and my fellow employee Lindsay, she was here at the front counter, and she said, "Oh, that's not good."
The car flipped multiple times from the interstate, over the fence, and onto South Highway Drive before it landed in front of Extreme Krav Maga and Fitness in Fenton. Within seconds, the manager, Dustin Pluth, sprints into action.
It was just kind of an instinct thing, and once I saw the car rolling and coming to a halt, running up to it, found a mom and 2 babies inside.
Pluth cut the mom's seatbelt off to get her out and pulled her twin babies out of the sunroof. Then another employee comforted the mom while walking them inside to get warm.
Very terrified of just being in a car wreck, number one, not knowing what's going on. She didn't know what the outcome was. And then she was obviously worried about her kids.
Beyond self-defense and martial arts classes, the business also teaches people how to be a first responder. Pluth says it's training that helped them rescue the family.
Luckily, the good people in this scenario, yeah, had a few scratches on them, but it could have definitely been a worse Christmas. And as a dad, kids being injured is like the worst fear ever.
Of all places for a car accident to end, Pluth says it was the best result of a bad situation.
She got handled and cared for, and the baby's cared for probably as quick as we possibly could do. It was definitely a Christmas miracle of that it happened here and that they came as unscathed as possible.
Well, the Missouri State Highway Patrol said several suspects were taken into custody following the pursuit.
You know, it seems like people typically go either fight or flight mode, but
Sure.
he definitely went into fight mode right
Absolutely.
there. Did not hesitate. And just like they mentioned, anyone can be a first responder, and he was really a prime example of that. How
Absolutely.
inspiring.
Incredible to see, like you said, a Christmas miracle for sure, especially that they were unharmed. It was
Very much,
unbelievable.
very
and good to
much.
hear.
Christmas
Oh,
miracle indeed. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, several Democrats in Washington are confused and worried after a series of presidential pardons.
And we still have more weather to talk about, still tracking active showers and storms. I'll have the full details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, 2 weeks ago, Braxton Thrasher, a 17-year-old, was severely injured in a hit-and-run accident in Carthage, Missouri. Now, in that time, several organizations, including the Domino's that Braxton works for, have made efforts to raise money for Braxton's recovery. Late Thursday night, the Carthage Domino's released a statement they received directly from Braxton. Now, it states in part, quote, "I want to say I appreciate everything you guys are doing for me and my family with this fundraiser and for everyone that is supporting. It's amazing to see so many kind and caring people helping another person out in need. I am positive every day, keeping my head up and working hard to heal. Thank you guys again for everything," end quote. Well, an annual Parsons tradition is happening as the Parsons Police and Fire Departments team up for their 10th year of Shop with a Cop. Now, the Shop with a Cop grants area children a chance to buy Christmas presents for themselves and also their friends and families. Parsons PD hosts fundraisers for it throughout the year and have raised $14,000 for the area kids' Christmas presents.
You know, honestly, it's kind of eye-opening, with these kids. They don't always, dive right in for, electronics and games. It's amazing to see the responsibility that some of these young kids actually have. They're looking for coats. They're looking for, clothing. They, end up going and trying to get, presents for their, siblings. And that is actually, heartwarming, to see.
The Parsons PD has a legacy fund which supports this event and also supports area scholarships. Well, the Joplin Mineral and History Museum held its third gingerbread house competition. Over 45 gingerbread houses will be displayed until next week. Now, the competition is broken up by size of the gingerbread houses and age groups. This year's event also included a craft market for area vendors.
We are part of the community and we want people to come out and enjoy the history of Joplin, get to know it a little more, to come in and get involved and try something different, try some of these great original type houses, and come see, get some ideas this year for and what you can do next year.
The prizes for the top 3 in each category included a cash prize and a gift basket. Now let's check in with Chloe for a quick look at the forecast.
Elise, yes, we're still tracking those showers and storms. We're almost out of in the clear with them completely, those showers and storms off into northwestern Arkansas, a couple bands here and there. What I want to point out right here is this line of clouds on the back end of that shows the cold front pushing through behind those storms, and it really is the culprit for the development of those storms that push through the entire 4 states overnight. Now this morning I still have a little bit of rainfall left on this forecast, but once that rain is cleared in your area, you'll be pretty much in the clear. Temperatures in the lower 50s, especially once that cold front pushes through. I'd say more of a cool front. We're only going down 5 to 10 degrees overall. And then your highs are going to reach back up into the mid 50s today, clearing skies this afternoon. We could see a couple increasing clouds here and there. Your high in Joplin, 56 degrees. Again, sunny skies. We're going to have that northwesterly wind along with us. That's on the back end of that front that will continue throughout today and into tomorrow as well. We'll have some increasing clouds about after 6 p.m. or so around dinner time and into the evening hours, we could see a couple more clouds here and there. So painting this picture out for you, we'll see this begin to clear out in the next hour or two, and then we'll be left with clear skies and overall northwesterly wind, temperatures mid 50s across the 4 states. Coming up, we're going to talk more about a next rainmaker late Tuesday night and a change in the weather pattern this week.
All right, thanks, Chloe. President Biden is raising some eyebrows even within his own party now with some of the people he's decided to pardon in his final months in office. Now, rumors swirling that the list could even include some preemptive pardons for people who've yet to be charged with a crime. Fox News correspondent Alexandria Hoff has the latest from the White House.
The White House has confirmed that additional acts of clemency will take place in the coming weeks, but there are several Democrats who are confused by some of the recipients already named.
there were a number that I think make no sense at all. Let's at least look at these on a factual basis and a risk basis instead of just in the middle of the night a month before a president leaves.
I do feel strongly that President Biden got it absolutely wrong and created a lot of pain here in northeastern Pennsylvania.
That's Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro speaking on the president commuting the sentence of former Judge Michael Conahan, who was convicted in 2011 for raking in millions in kickbacks for improperly sending children to for-profit juvenile detention centers. It was known as the Kids for Cash scandal. Progressive Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley was asked about that as she advocated for more sentences to be commuted.
I don't have any insight on any specific cases or the rationale. What I can say is that there are hundreds of thousands of people, based on the president's action, who have hope about the fate of their loved ones.
There's also talk of potential preemptive pardons for people that the Biden team fear could be prosecuted by the incoming administration. That's something President-elect Trump disputed that he would do. Here's newly sworn-in Senator Adam Schiff.
The precedent of giving blanket pardons, preemptive blanket pardons on the way out of an administration, I think is a precedent we don't want to set.
The White House added that the president will be moving forward with several other issues in the coming weeks, like student debt relief and artificial intelligence. At the White House, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, after 11 years, an owner and his cat have been reunited, all thanks to a microchip. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Girard Square.
Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 7:44 right now. We've got showers and storms that pushed through the 4 states overnight into early this morning, but those have since calmed down and pushed off southeast. They're sticking around in southern Missouri and far northwestern Arkansas, including Bentonville and Fayetteville right now, none of which are severe. In fact, they're relatively disorganized, and they're going to continue to do that, or continue on with that pattern over the next couple of hours. Take note of this line of clouds on the back end of that. That's bringing in a cold front that's pushing through. In fact, that cold front is the reason why we had storms developing overnight this past night. I would say more so of a cool front than a cold front. Our lows last night were in the 60s, and our highs are going to be colder than our lows last night. Our highs only going up to the mid 50s today. Now, the kiddos going off to school, we're going to be in the low 50s, couple showers here and there as those begin to push off southeast on the map. We'll have some northwesterly winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's going to stick with us this afternoon. Not any significant wind by any means, but that breeze will be steady for sure from the northwest, cooling us down and keeping us in the 50s for our highs, in the mid 50s, clearing us out completely over across the board. So Joplin, your high is going to be 56 this afternoon. We're going to clear out once again, but then in the evening we could see a couple of increasing clouds here and there. Again, that northwesterly wind will be along with us. That's on the back end of that front. You can see the line of winds right here. That's pushing off to the southeast and changing the direction of our winds to the northwest. Yesterday we had that southerly flow ahead of that front. That warmed us up into the 60s. Now today we're not going to get as warm as that. We'll only be in the mid to upper 50s this afternoon, leaving us with sunny skies this afternoon. Now we had that marginal threat for severe weather this morning, but once those showers push through, we won't have to worry about this anymore. So now overall, for the big picture forecast, the next thing that we're tracking is a chance for rain. This is Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Showers and storms are definitely possible ahead of this trough that dips through across the central plains, and that's going to push off eastward. And then we'll see a ridge pattern end up setting in off to our west. That's going to cool us down and calm us down over the next couple of days into the weekend with colder temperatures ahead. Then we'll warm up a little bit, but then we'll have another shift in the weather pattern here here's where it switches up a little bit. Rain chances across the board. That's possible Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday, what's that? Christmas Eve. So keep that in mind for your long range forecast and your plans on Christmas Eve and eventually Christmas Day. So your 7-day forecast overall, that chance for rain on Tuesday night. But then Wednesday on will be pretty sunny and calm, but cold on Friday. High only up to 35 degrees on Friday. But then that next weather maker potentially next Tuesday on Christmas Eve. Keeping that in mind. Stick around. We've got more news and weather coming up.
Well, a perfect reunion that was years in the making took place at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport Thursday. It involved a cat that disappeared from its Wisconsin home 11 years ago and was found over 800 miles away in Georgia.
Wow. Joshua Skinner was there for the joyous reunion.
At the world's busiest airport, people move and people wait.
It's been 11 and a half years.
Dave Dexter is waiting for an old friend, Rutherford.
I haven't seen him since June of 2013.
But as people look towards arrivals, Dexter looks the opposite way.
In the back of our mind, I think there was an inkling, a fragment of hope that someday we would see him again.
Finding anyone in this mayhem can be tough.
You'll see us when you walk in.
Especially if, like Dexter, you flew in from Wisconsin for the reunion.
You get past the South Baggage Claim kiosk.
Eventually, they do find each other.
Nice to meet you, too.
But Rutherford is not a man.
Hi, May.
Rutherford in there. Nor a woman.
Hey, man. How's it going?
But a cat.
Rutherford B. Cat, I think, was his official Christian name.
And the Arbeiter family has driven him here.
I can't believe you're here.
From Dillard, Georgia. 11 and a half years and 806 miles from where he disappeared in Oregon, Wisconsin.
He was found on the border of North Carolina in Dillard, Georgia, on the side of the road, laying down on his side, not moving.
Rescued by teenagers and brought back to life by the Arbeiter Veterinary Hospital.
If he had been out there for maybe a day or two more, he was for sure going to die.
Not only did he survive,
how could this possibly happen?
He now has a chance at a meowy Christmas.
It might very well be his first Christmas.
With a new name.
Call him Rutherford B. Strays.
And a much shorter trip back to a warm home.
What else can you do but just feel good for the guy? He made it home 11 years later.
Rutherford was identified by his microchip, which contained Dave Dexter's contact information. How about that?
That is insane. You know, they say cats have 9 lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
I mean, just the fact that it's still alive 11 years later.
Yes, and 800 miles away.
Unbelievable.
My goodness, what a journey. What a journey for that cat.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, and I'm sure that cat had to endure quite a bit of weather along that journey of 800 miles. I still can't get over that. Oh, my goodness. Well, we're still talking active showers and storms across the 4 states. They're slowly but surely clearing up as of right now. Only northwestern Arkansas, southwestern Missouri are still seeing the remnants of those showers. But here's a look at your live radar. We're still tracking that, but it's going to clear out slowly but surely, bringing us cooler temperatures ahead of that. We'll have temperatures in the lower 50s as the kiddos go off to school, and then for school pickup this afternoon, we'll be in the mid 50s, clearing out completely. So highs in the mid to upper 50s, 56 for your high in Joplin, clearing out. A couple of increasing clouds are definitely possible heading into the rest of the afternoon. So like I said, we'll be clearing out completely, and here's a look at your afternoon temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. So a beautiful day across the board.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. McDonald County prosecutors have dropped charges in a fatal hit-and-run case. McDonald County prosecutor Malia Cheney says there was a false statement in the probable cause affidavit, which would likely affect the case outcome. Now, sources say the officer confused the model number with the serial number, and that model number lens would fit numerous Ford vehicles. Well, families, students, and staff are grieving after learning of the loss of one of their own. A student from Knoll Elementary School has succumbed to their injuries from an ATV accident last week. Well, counselors will be on school grounds starting today to provide support for those who may need it. The 10th annual Parts and Shop with the Cop took place over the weekend, and the Shop with the Cop Event grants area children a chance to buy Christmas presents for themselves and also their friends and families. The Parsons PD has a legacy fund that supports this event and also supports area scholarships.
Plus, once those storms wrap up this morning and push off to the southeast, we're going to be left with sunny skies across the 4 states. Here in Joplin, your high is going to be 56 degrees. We'll have a northwesterly wind on the back end of that cold front we'll see, but it's not going to be extreme wind whatsoever, only 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overall, here's your 7-day forecast. We've got another chance for rain Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Then we'll shift gears in the weather pattern and we'll be calm and cold by the end of this week. Friday only up to 35, and then another chance for showers next week on Christmas Eve.
All righty. Thanks, Chloe. Yes, well, the young patients at Children's Nebraska Hospital in Omaha were recently treated to an unforgettable surprise as a whole crew of superheroes scaled the hospital as they washed its windows.
Thanks to Fisher Building Services, the children were treated to some heartwarming moments.
Look at them. I'm sure that was a special moment. Could you imagine seeing Spider-Man outside your window?
That would make my day. Bonus points if it were Tom Holland.
Ooh,
yes.
There you go.
There you go.
It's a good pick.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.